General Vex Thol's 4 eyes narrowed as he studied the human prisoner through the reinforced plasma barrier. The creature sat casually on the detention cell floor, legs crossed, humming what the translation matrix identified as something called a sea shanty. This was not the behavior Vex Thul expected from a member of the species that had somehow managed to halt the hegemony's 300-year expansion across the galaxy. Human Marcus Chen. Vex Thul's voice resonated through his chest-mounted translator, the mechanical tone failing to convey his growing irritation. You will witness the power of the hegemony's ultimate weapon. Perhaps then you will understand the futility of your species' resistance. Marcus looked up, his dark eyes twinkling with what could only be described as amusement. Oh, is it showtime already? I was just getting comfortable. He stretched his arms above his head with an audible pop. What have you got for me, General? Please tell me it's not another one of those giant robot things. The last 3 were kind of disappointing. Vex Thul's mandibles clicked in annoyance. The human's casual dismissal of the hegemony's Titan-class war mechs, machines that had reduced entire star systems to rubble, was either supreme arrogance or complete insanity. The general suspected it might be both. Behold, Vex Thul gestured with 2 of his 4 arms toward the massive blast doors at the far end of the arena. The devourer of Kepler 442b, the beast that consumed an entire colony world in mere hours. The doors groaned open with the screech of tortured metal. What emerged defied easy description. The creature stood nearly 30 meters tall, its obsidian carapace gleaming under the arena's harsh lights. 12 legs, each ending in razor sharp. Talons carried its bulk with surprising grace. Its head, if it could be called that, was a nightmare fusion of insectoid mandibles and serpentine tendrils, while bioluminescent patches along its sides pulsed with an sickly green light. Acidic drool hissed as it struck the arena floor, leaving smoking craters in the reinforced metal. The assembled hegemony officers in the observation deck leaned forward in anticipation. This was the moment when the human would finally understand. When the fear would break through that insufferable confidence and, "Oh my God!" Marcus pressed his face against the plasma barrier, eyes wide. "Look at you! Aren't you just the most magnificent murder beast I've ever seen?" Vex Thul's translator crackled with static, struggling to process the human's emotional response. What? Those mandibles, that carapace, the way you move." Marcus was practically bouncing with excitement. "You're absolutely beautiful. What do you eat? Please tell me you're not vegetarian, because that would just be hilariously ironic." The devourer, perhaps confused by this unprecedented reaction, tilted its massive head and emitted a low, rumbling growl that vibrated through the arena floor. "Oh, you're talking to me!" Marcus grinned and made strange gestures with his hands. "Come here, beautiful. Come to Daddy." "The creature will tear you apart," Vex Thul managed, his voice distorted by disbelief. "It has devoured billions of—" "Fluffy!" Marcus interrupted, snapping his fingers. "That's your name now! You look like a Fluffy to me!" The devourer, Fluffy, took a tentative step forward, its dinner plate-sized eyes fixed on the small human. Another step, then another. The arena fell silent except for the soft clicking of chitin against metal. "Prisoner Chen," Vex Thul's voice had risen to what his species considered a shout. "Step away from the barrier. The containment field will not hold if—" "Sit, Fluffy." The command was delivered in the same tone one might use to address a household. Pet. The massive creature paused, head tilting further. Then, impossibly, its 12 legs folded beneath it as it lowered itself to the arena floor. "Good girl, or boy. Are you a good boy, Fluffy?" Marcus reached through the plasma barrier. Somehow his hand passed through unharmed, and gently scratched beneath one of the creature's mandibles. "Yes, you are. You're the goodest eldritch horror in the whole galaxy." The devourer, this apex, predator that had laid waste to entire worlds, began to emit a sound that the translation matrix could only describe as purring. Vexthul felt his world view crumbling. In the observation deck, several junior officers had fainted. One had begun frantically scribbling notes, muttering something about impossible xenobiological responses. How? The general's voice was barely a whisper. Marcus looked up from where he was now somehow sitting beside the creature, one arm draped casually over what used to be its most terrifying feature. Oh, this? Fluffy here's just misunderstood. Probably hasn't had proper socialization. Have you, sweetie? He rubbed the creature's carapace, producing more contented purring. I bet you were just hungry and scared, weren't you? The devourer, Fluffy, nuzzled against Marcus's shoulder with surprising gentleness, careful not to pierce him with its mandibles. Humans, Marcus continued conversationally, we have this thing about adopting strays. Doesn't matter if it's a three-legged cat, a wolf, or apparently a planet-eating bioweapon. If it needs love, we'll find a way to give it. Vexthul stared at the impossible scene before him. His ultimate weapon, his guarantee of human compliance, was now contentedly having its belly rubbed by its supposed victim. This changes nothing, he said, though his voice lacked conviction. The hegemony will what? Marcus's voice had lost its playful tone, becoming something harder, something that made ancient predator instincts stir in the general's modified brain. You're going to threaten Earth? With what army? Because from where I'm sitting, it looks like I just adopted your entire military strategy. As if responding to some unspoken command, Fluffy raised her massive head and fixed all dozen of her eyes on General Vexthul. The purring stopped. In its place came a low, threatening growl that promised exactly the kind of violence the general had hoped to unleash on humanity. Besides, Marcus added, his grin returning, wait until you meet my species' real secret weapon, which is, we talk to our pets, and more importantly, Marcus's eyes gleamed with that particularly human brand of dangerous mischief, they listen. In the observation deck, the remaining conscious officers began reaching for their personal evacuation pods. General Vexthul, for the first time in his military career, seriously considered the strategic value of retreat. After all, if humans could turn the devourer of Kepler 442b into Fluffy in less than 5 minutes, what could they do with an entire invasion fleet? The general decided he really didn't want to find out.